Yo, what's up everybody, it's your boy, Mr. A brand new video for you guys today. Welcome to my channel. Today we got a different video for you guys. There's not a review, not a discussion video. It's actually a ranking video. I haven't done a ranking video in a while. My ranking videos tend to be a little controversial, tend to, rub some elbows. If you ever see my Halo ranking video, I got a lot of attention, a lot of views, a lot of comments, a lot of dislikes, a lot of likes. It was very different video when it comes to like how you reacted to it. And this video will probably be exactly the same. If it gets as much buzz as the Halo video did, this video will probably have the same reaction where there's a lot of dislikes, a lot of disagreements, things like that. Because when it comes to ranking videos, it's all opinions, and when it comes to opinions, you have to understand that you're going to have a different thought to somebody else. This is based on like what I think is like the actual best of this, just what I prefer, like, and things like that. Like, opinions are opinions. We all got them. You might not agree with things I say here, and you might do agree with it. And I like to always reference things when it comes to like the difference between an opinion or like any kind of like bias, things like that. It's like my favorite video game of all time is Mass Effect, but I think Witcher 3 is the best RPG of all time. So it's like my favorite game isn't what I think is the best game. Same thing comes like Assassin's Creed, where I was like my favorite Assassin's Creed game is Assassin's Creed 3, and I did a ranking video of Assassin's Creed as well. But I think the best Assassin's Creed game is Assassin's Creed Origins. So it's like there's a difference between what you like and what you think is the best. Like there's some games on this list that I like more than other games on the list, but I rank those other games higher because I think they're overall better games. So this list, like I said, top 10 PlayStation games on PC right now. So PlayStation exclusives only. And generally it's ones that I played. So if there's ones I didn't play, I'm not going to put them on this list because I don't have experience with it. I know Ratchet & Clank's coming off PC pretty soon. I've never played Ratchet & Clank game before, and I'm not going to, so we're not going to like delay this video for that game to come out for me to play it, and I'm not going to play it. It's not never been a thing that interests me. But as always, do all things algorithm likes, like the video, comment, and subscribe. Before we get into my top 10, I do want to mention some honorable mentions with these. These are games I haven't played, but either had interest in or just didn't care about. Like Heavy Rain. I never bought the Heavy Rain game, mostly because I like to play games, blind. And I've seen so many Heavy Rain playthroughs and walkthroughs from beginning to end. I think it's a great story. Had I played it, it probably replace the number 10 game on this list. But the reason why I didn't play is because I just already had so much experience with the game visually, so it's like there's no point me playing the game. And it's like, well, you should still like, I like playing games blind, and if I can't play a game blind, then I don't play it at all. Then there's Neo 2. I haven't finished Neo 1 yet, but I do believe I'd enjoy Neo 2 and we'll pick it up once I beat the first game. So that I'll put Neo 2 on my honor mentions. Returnal is a game I have zero interest in. It looks like a meh game, but I'm mentioning it since it's a big release on PC from PlayStation. It just doesn't look a very good game at all. I've seen reviews of it, I've seen like some little clips and things of it, and it just doesn't look interesting at all. And then the last honor mention I'll mention is the Uncharted collection. I have played Uncharted games before. It's just okay. I think I would enjoy it more had I never played, a Tomb Raider game before, which is what I rather play than Uncharted. Now, I'm not saying Uncharted is a bad game, but I just feel like Tomb Raider is a way better franchise, way better game, way better story, way better gameplay from what I've played of Uncharted. So moving into our top 10, coming in at number 10, Death Stranding. Death Stranding is the first game I gave up, doing a Let's Play of. For those who are friends with my channel, I do a lot of Let's Plays here and there, games from PlayStation to PC. Death Stranding was one that I started and never went back to, partly because other games took my attention, but also because it's kind of a drag. Like, it's a very slow-paced game. It has very inaccurate. I'm gonna say inaccurate. It has very wonky progression and pacing, and it's also just. I feel like it's hard to make this game, an interesting Let's Play in particular. Like, the game is intriguing, top tier acting, product placements all over the place. Kind of don't like that, but the story is very unique and interesting. The gameplay is hit or miss, and I do look forward to the sequel. I did enjoy what I played of the game, but I just feel like there's better games on PC from PlayStation than Death Stranding. Coming in at number 9 is Neo. I played Neo after playing Sekiro, and that probably plays a role in this game being low on my list, partly because Sekiro is a better game across the board. That doesn't mean Neo isn't good. My first beef with the game, though, comes with the controls. This game doesn't have keyboard controls, or at least didn't when I played it. Maybe they added it now. So basically, you had to play with a controller, not because the whole saying when it comes to these kind of games of, hey, you should play with a controller to make the game easier. But because all the button prompts are controllers, so you play this game, you can't use your keyboard. Like, I'm not saying you can't use keyboard, you can use it, but you won't see keyboard keys when it comes to like on-screen prompts. Like, it won't show like a WASD and things like that. It'll show like an A, B, like it show buttons for a controller, not for a keyboard. Aside from that, the game is fun, story is okay. Some bullshit here and there tries to inflate difficulty. Same when it comes to like these games that try to follow the Soul formula. So at number 8 is Detroit Become Human. To be frank, I didn't really have interest in this game. The idea of these glorified interactive movies were always meant to me, but being from Detroit, I tend to be drawn to games that involve my hometown, so I gave this game a chance, and much like another game on this list, it surprised me. Detroit Become Human is really good, interactive, immersive experience. A lot of choice matter games like they have 3 or 4 outcomes, but this game has numerous outcomes. When it's said that you and someone else won't have a similar playthrough, it's not fluff to sell you on choice matter. It's the true thing. You won't find someone else who has the exact same playthrough as you when it comes to this game, because there's just so many choices and there's so many micro details that can change up how something goes with your playthrough. The game has top tier voice acting from well-established actors from films. It's thought-provoking, graphically really good, just an overall solid experience. Coming in number 7 on this list is Forspoken. Yes, that Forspoken. Not only did it make my top 10, but it made it as far as the 7th, and honestly I put it higher if the game ran better on PC. So it's not even like a hard lock 7 when it comes to like my top 10. It could easily float to like top 6, top 5 had the game ran better on PC, had the game been more complete. If you watch my review, my review will be attached to the end of this video. You'll hear all the things that's about Forspoken that I feel like are negatives that hold it back. But when it comes to like the actual game, excluding those negatives, it's a very good game. Again, ignoring it runs bad, ignoring the freezes, the frame drops, the stutters, and the texture pop ins. It feels like the developers wanted to do more with this game and weren't allowed to. So why is it this high? When I mentioned all those negativity things, so why is it as high as 7 over all these other games, over all the other mentions, and why do I think it could be even higher than 7? I like this game. The combat is really fun. The movement traversal system of the game is great. The story is intriguing, not the most immersive, but does have enough there to keep me interested. The voice acting is very good across the board. Open world begs to be explored, even though there's limitations in the open world. And yes, much like any modern open world game, you can have the tedious nature of doing the same thing over and over again when it comes to open world, because modern gaming and hey, go go clear out a cave for the 10th time in the video game. I've been doing it since Elder Scrolls. But generally when it comes to this game, it's like the next game on this list. It's an above average video game, but unlike the last game, I do see myself returning to this game in the future, and would be down for a sequel, though it'll never happen. I just feel like it's a very good game, and Forspoken in the next 3 games could be interchangeable, as in they could switch with each other based on how I feel, because all these games have things that I don't like and things that I love, so they're very interchangeable. But Forspoken to me, stands out more than these 3 games because of that potential that it could have had their developers actually gave if the publishers have gave the developers the amount of time that they needed to polish this game and make it what they wanted it to be, because they had like a lot of ideas for Forspoken, and the developers themselves said they just weren't able to execute on what their ideas was. The publishers felt this game, not the developers, but regardless of that, it's still a solid experience. God of War. If you are a fan of this game, you're like going to go, how is this only at number 6? Well, it'd be a 7 or even 8 if the story wasn't as good as it was with cinematics that are also as good as they are, because this game is just a good story with good cinematics. That's just call it a buck. This game is just a good cinematics story, and that's it. The combat is very generic, boring linear exploration. The boss fights are just meh, and not really any memorable characters. Like just being honest with you guys when it comes to this. I made a review of this game as well. You can check it out where I go more in detail about how I feel about God of War. But I just feel like the other, before the remake of 2018, I feel like the other God of War games were just way more intriguing, way more interesting, and had better combat than this game. This game just seems like your typical action game. It's an above average video game that lives off its name, story, and cinematics, which are all good. The story is great, the cutscenes are phenomenal, the voice acting some of the best in gaming, images are wonderful, and the world looks cool as hell. I'll never play it again. I'll never play this game again. Like I'll play the Ragnarok because on PC, or if I ever get a PS5 whoever, not whoever, but who knows. But when it comes to this particular God of War game, I'll never play it again. I have a love-hate relationship with this game. On one hand, the story is really good, very interesting, immersive, and oh my god, Jesse. I mean, well, yes, Jesse, but oh my god, Sephiroth is what I was trying to get to. Sephiroth's so cool. Like, understand I've never played the original FF7, never even seen gameplay, so 100% this is my first step into this story, and I love the story. I have since seen videos talking about why fans hate this game in particular compared to the original. And all those are valid for those fans of the originals, but for me, someone who didn't touch the original, this story is very good. Now the combat, on the other hand, on PC is trash. Some of the worst controls I've had to experience on PC. It's like Square didn't even like play test it. A lot of the boss fights were annoying and overstayed their welcome. Tifa sucks as a boring character. I mentioned that because she's like so popular, but it's like she's so uninteresting and so boring. Jessie died, which is a negative to me because I love Jessie. She's great. Cloud is cool, but kind of a piece of shit. Okay, wait. I'm starting to get a little annoyed. It's okay, Nubis. The combat can't hurt you anymore. You can stop being so rough towards Tifa and Cloud. You can't be hurt anymore by this game's goddamn combat. Deep breaths. It's a good game. Like, generally, it is a good game for the most part. Yes, the combat sucks. Yes, there's some boss fights that linger way longer than they need to. Watch my Let's Play of it. I do have a Let's Play of me playing throughout the entire game. In the last video of the Let's Play, I do give like an in-depth like opinion review towards the end of the Let's Play. But generally, very good game. Top 5, PlayStation exclusive on PC. Solid. Don't hate me. Number 4 is Days Gone. Days Gone is a game that kind of snuck up on me. I wasn't expecting much from this game. I heard nothing but bad things about it. Then I had a conversation with my cousin who spoke highly of the game and then gifted it to me on Steam. So I had to give it a shot, and boy, am I glad that he gave me this game as a gift, because this game is so good. It might as well be considered a hidden gem with how underappreciated this game is. Shit, I should make an entire hidden gems video about this game because damn, it's so good. The story is top tier. The gameplay is fun and immaculate. Yes, immaculate is what we're going to use to describe this game's gameplay. Easily one of the top 10 best zombie games I ever played. I enjoyed this way more than I should have, and the voice acting is phenomenal, like AJ Styles. We all know Sam Witwer is like a beast, but the co-stars for this game all hit out the park. This is a phenomenal game. What's sad about it is developers wanted to do a sequel, but Sony won't greenlight it because it didn't do, successfully in it comes to like the reviews and with critics, as well as just monetarily. It didn't like sell like hotcakes. So Sony doesn't view it as a good game. But for everyone who I've talked to since I beat it, they've all said very positive things. Even when it comes to like the Steam reviews are very positive. So it's like, this game isn't a hated game as it was when it comes to reviews, and maybe the reviewers are looking for something different than what gamers were looking forward to. Because again, look at the Steam reviews, a lot of people were very high on this game and didn't enjoy it. Me personally, I love this game. Even before getting Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, I was so excited about this game. It was a game that would have made me get a PlayStation had I not heard it'll be on PC. I hadn't seen any reviews or streams of it, but even the trailer I saw made me so excited and interested in this game. And when I finally got the chance to play it on PC, it delivered. The story is good, the atmosphere is amazing, the visuals are good, the combat is lovely, the gameplay loop is super fun. It does have its flaws. Aloy gets a little bit annoying here and there. Her acting does get a little bland and very quickly. Like, this isn't one of those games that's going to like sell you on voice acting or sell you on its writing. This is not those things. It's not a well-written character kind of game. Like, a lot of characters kind of like meh when it comes to their writing and when it comes to their voice acting. But outside of that, it is a very good game. Yes, halfway through the game story, it does get into like a lull. It gets kind of boring, but once you get past like that particular part of the game, it picks back up again. It's a very good game. I actually picked it as my game of the year in 2020, so that's tell you like how high I am on it, even besides the fact of the limitations of the low moments and the mediocre voice acting. Coming number 2 is an obvious one. And some people are like, well, if it's obvious, it should be number 1 because I love this game and it should be number 1. Like, hold your horses, my video, do your own video. It's a free country. Last of Us Part 1, is number 2 on my list. Going in, I knew how hyped up this game was, and I was thinking, I want to see, is this game as good as people have it be? Because I don't own a PlayStation, so I never played the original games. Never freaking watched the show until after I beat this game. Didn't watch any videos on like, because again, I don't watch reviews of games I don't want to play. I don't watch streams of games I want to play. I like to be as blind as I possibly can. So I want to see if this game was as hyped, as good as it's hyped up to be. And the answer is yes and no. The story of Last of Us is amazing. It's one of the best stories in any line of entertainment that tells stories of zombies and apocalyptic worlds. And I know the word zombie here can be used, loosely, but essentially it's a zombie game. The acting is top tier. The dilemma of the main characters is engaging. The world building and atmosphere is astonishing. However, the gameplay is just good. It's not great. It's not amazing. It's not special. It's just good. It's fun. But it's not something that I use as something to convince someone who's never played Last of Us to play Last of Us. I wouldn't mention, the gameplay. Like, I would mention the characters. I would mention the world building. I mention the atmosphere. I mention the story itself, the acting and writing. I wouldn't mention the gameplay. Like, gosh, it's just a generic, third person kind of shooter kind of game. Like, it's a zombie game. You're going to run around with some guns and some bows, and just shoot people and zombies. Yeah, it's nothing special when it comes to that. But outside of that, the things that matter the most to me is story and atmosphere. And this game hits out the park in all those like locations and all those things. There's not really a flaw when it comes to this game and in its story and in its visuals and things like that. Also, Joel deserved it. Lastly, coming in number 1 on my list, my top 10 PlayStation exclusives on PC: Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Yes, I'm counting these 2 games together because Miles Morales is basically like an expansion to the main game. It's not Spider-Man 2, which is going to be PS5. So in about 20 years, it's on PC. There hasn't been a PlayStation game that I've had more fun playing. I love these games, and it helps that I'm a massive Spider-Man fan who has been playing Spider-Man games for years, longer than some of y'all watching videos, has been alive. From all the way back from the PS2 Spider-Man games to the Web of Shadows, the Shadow Dimension games, to always having Spider-Man in my lineup in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and Ultimate Alliance 2. These games are engaging from beginning to end. The stories are amazing. The gameplay is some of the funnest. It's some of the best Spider-Man gameplay we've ever gotten. And I say Spider-Man, these 2 particular games are the best superhero games we have right now. Like, even better than Arkham games. I love the Arkham games, but I do think Spider-Man and Miles Morales are better than Arkham games. And actually, I think Miles Morales is a better game overall than Spider-Man, standalone, which I know is kind of a little controversial, but I do feel like if it was longer, it would be a little bit, it would be different, because like it would be like a whole new game if it was longer. But I do think Miles Morales is a little better than the original. But both games as a whole or separately are, bar none, the best PlayStation exclusives on PC, in my opinion. So that's my video, my top 10 PlayStation games on PC. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you can do your own video, put in the comments as well, what your top 10 would be. Opinions are opinions. If you don't like what I said, you don't like what I said. I don't really care. It's not my job to make you, like me. It's just my job to make videos. That's just kind of what it is. But anyways, do all things algorithm likes, like the video, comment, and subscribe. Follow your boy over on Twitch. We show Monday through Thursday, play a variety of different video games. Mondays are usually MMOs, but between Mondays and Thursdays, who knows what you might see. We're going to start playing Yakuza pretty soon. I don't know when you guys are going to see this video, but I'm going to start trying to play through all the Yakuza games, and here and there's obviously I'm going to throw on my shooters because I can't play my shooters. But like I said, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Do all things algorithm likes. I know I repeated myself, and I know like a lot of y'all hate when people say those lines repeatedly. It's 8:40 in the morning, so yes, I'm wearing a Chewbacca onesie. I'm out of here.